As late as the 16th and 17th century, men still fought like the ancient Greeks. Once inside a phalanx, or pike square, attackers could choose from a grisly range of hardware to butcher their opponents. But first, they had to get past the pikes, face to face, steel to steel. They still didn't have a way of blasting in from a safe distance. One answer to this problem was an unwieldy, handheld gun, the arquebus. Foot soldiers turned to the gun as their weapon of choice. Its transformation from ugly launching tube to finely crafted weapon speaks of the pride with which infantry and cavalry regarded their new weapons. All that was needed was a quick and safe way to fire it. Two rival mechanisms offered a solution: the matchlock and the wheel lock. The matchlock used a fuse to ignite gunpowder in the flash pan. In dry conditions, it worked. Simpler but more expensive was the wheel lock. It used new clockwork technology to strike a spark from a small piece of iron pyrite. More dependable than the matchlock, here was a gun that could be used by cavalry, the first carbine. Simpler still was the flintlock, which struck the vital spark from flint and steel. Simplicity won, and for the next 200 years, pistols and rifles would be fired this way. The gun was coming of age. The gun, like the longbow, could pierce armor, but for accuracy, range, and rate of fire, it was still inferior. The gun had one big advantage over the longbow. The skill and sheer strength needed to draw a bow demanded years of daily practice. A gunner could be trained in weeks. In the early 17th century, a Dutch nobleman, William of Nassau, studied the Roman tacticians. He read how Roman legions kept up a steady rain of javelins on the enemy. Nassau realized that modern soldiers armed with muskets could do the same. All they had to do was rotate their ranks. The principle was simple. Don't aim, just send in a wall of lead.
The air was so darkened by the smoke of the powder that for a quarter of an hour together, I dare say, there was no light seen but what the fire of the volleys of shot gave.
Rapid volley required tight coordination in the heat of battle if muskets were to fire at the same time. Musketeers drilled hard. faster they could fire, reload, and fire again, the more deadly they were. In 1631, at the Battle of Breitenfeld, the Swedish king Gustavus Adolphus showed the full potential of volley fire. He had drilled his men until they had the fastest reload times ever. In this battle against an army of the Holy Roman Empire, 7,000 lay dead, felled by rapid volley fire, most killed in the first 2 hours.